Question 1. Could you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jisoo, and I'm currently a junior majoring in business administration at a university in Seoul. I chose this major because I've always been interested in how companies work and how they grow. I enjoy learning about marketing strategies and global markets, and I hope to work in an international company someday. I'm also part of a student club related to startups, which has been a great way to meet like-minded people. In my free time, I enjoy listening to music, going to cafes, and watching movies with friends. Being a student can be stressful, but I try to stay positive and enjoy campus life.
Question 2. You indicated that you're a student. Can you tell me a bit more about your major and why you decided to study that field?
I'm currently studying business administration, as I mentioned, and I chose it because I wanted to understand the business world more deeply. I was inspired by a high school teacher who explained how businesses influence society. Now that I'm in university, I enjoy learning about marketing, finance, and organizational behavior. It's not always easy, especially when exam season comes around, but I feel proud whenever I understand a difficult concept. I think this major will open up many career paths for me in the future. Also, working on group projects with classmates has taught me the value of teamwork and communication.
Question 3. I'd like you to describe your current apartment and tell me why you chose to live alone instead of with others.
Right now, I live alone in a small studio apartment near my campus. It's about a 10-minute walk from school, so it's really convenient. The apartment has one room, a bathroom, and a small kitchen, and even though it's not big, I've made it comfortable with some decorations and plants. I decided to live alone because I wanted to be independent and focus more on my studies. It was a bit lonely at first, but now I enjoy having my own space. Living alone has helped me grow and learn how to take care of myself. Sometimes I miss my family, but I call them often and visit them on weekends.
Question 4. What are some of the advantages of living alone? And what are the benefits of living with roommates or family members?
Living alone definitely has its pros and cons. One big advantage is the freedom. I can decide my own schedule, eat what I want, and have quiet time to study or relax. It also helps me concentrate better, especially during exam periods. But on the flip side, living with others can be more fun and less lonely. You always have someone to talk to or share meals with. Living with roommates also means you can split expenses, which is nice. Personally, I think both situations can be good depending on your personality and lifestyle.
Question 5. You indicated that you enjoy listening to music. What kind of music do you usually listen to, and why do you like that genre?
When it comes to music, I usually listen to K-pop, R&B, and indie music. Sometimes I also listen to lo-fi music when I study because it helps me focus without getting distracted. Music really lifts my mood when I'm stressed or tired. It also reminds me of good times with my friends, like when we went on a trip and sang songs in the car. Music has become a big part of my daily routine, and I can't imagine life without it.
Question 6. Think of a concert or live music event you've recently been to. Can you describe what the experience was like and how you felt during the event?
Last month, I went to a live concert by a Korean indie band. It was held at a small venue in Hongdae, so the atmosphere felt really cozy and intimate. The lead singer had an amazing voice, and the live performance was even better than the recorded songs. I went with a couple of my close friends, and we sang along to every song. It felt so freeing to just enjoy the music together after a tough exam week. That night made me feel really connected to my friends and reminded me why I love live music so much.
Question 7. How does music play a role in your everyday life? Please explain how it influences your mood or daily routine.
Music plays a really important role in my life. When I wake up in the morning, I often play something upbeat to start the day with energy. On the way to school, I listen to my favorite playlists, and it helps me stay positive. When I feel sad or lonely, especially during stressful times, I turn to emotional ballads to comfort myself. Music also helps me focus when I study, especially if it's soft instrumental music. Overall, music supports my mood, whether I'm happy, tired, or feeling nostalgic. It's like a best friend that's always there for me.
Question 8. When you go out to eat, what kind of restaurant do you usually prefer, like a casual cafe, fine dining place, or a fast food spot? Why?
When I eat out, I usually prefer casual cafes. I like places that are quiet, cozy, and have a nice atmosphere. Most of the time, I go to cafes near campus where I can study a bit or hang out with friends. These cafes often have delicious brunch menus or pasta, and their drinks are unique. I also love cafes with aesthetic interiors. It makes the experience feel more relaxing. For me, it's not just about the food, but also the vibe. After a long day at school, it's comforting to sit in a warm, peaceful cafe.
Question 9. Can you describe a particularly memorable dining experience you had at your favorite type of restaurant? What made it so special?
One of the most memorable meals I had was at a brunch cafe near my school. I went there with a friend right after we finished a group presentation. We were tired but also relieved, so we treated ourselves to a nice meal. The pancakes were fluffy, the bacon was crispy, and the latte was perfect. We talked about our future plans and laughed a lot during the meal. It felt like a reward after all the hard work. I still remember the cozy atmosphere and how warm the sunlight felt through the window.
Question 10. Imagine you're recommending a dish to a friend who's visiting that restaurant for the first time. What menu item would you suggest, and what makes it worth trying?
If I had to recommend a menu item at that cafe, I'd say go for the avocado toast with poached eggs. It might sound simple, but the flavors are really fresh and well-balanced. The toast is crunchy, and the eggs are always cooked just right. They also add a bit of lemon and herbs, which make it even more delicious. It's also healthy, so I don't feel guilty after eating it. I usually get it with a vanilla latte, and that combo makes my day. I've recommended it to several friends, and they all loved it too.
Question 11. This is a role-play question. Imagine you're calling your school library to reserve a study seat. Ask about the availability, how the reservation system works, and anything else you're curious about.
Hi, I'd like to reserve a study seat at the university library. Do you have any available spots for this afternoon or evening? If so, how long can I use the seat once it's reserved? Also, could you explain how the reservation system works? Do I need to use the school website or a mobile app? Lastly, is there any specific area that's quieter or better for solo studying? Thank you so much for your help.
Question 12. Now let's say your reservation was suddenly canceled by the library. Call back to explain your situation and ask if there's any way to reschedule or make a new booking.
Hi, I made a reservation for a study seat earlier today, but I just got a message saying it was canceled. I was really counting on using that time to prepare for my midterm exams. Could you please tell me why it was canceled? Also, is there any way to reschedule or rebook a seat for later today or tomorrow? If possible, I'd like a quiet spot where I can concentrate. I really hope something is available. Thanks again for your help.
Question 13. Have you ever experienced a similar problem with a reservation, at a library, restaurant, or somewhere else? Describe what happened and how you handled it.
Yes, I've definitely experienced a reservation problem before. A few months ago, I reserved a study room for a group project, but when we arrived, the room was already taken by another group. We showed the librarian our confirmation, but they said the system had a glitch. At first, we were frustrated, especially because we were on a tight deadline. But we politely explained our situation, and luckily, they found us another room. It wasn't ideal, but we were able to finish our project in time. I learned that staying calm and respectful really helps in situations like that.
Question 14. In your opinion, what makes a restaurant experience truly enjoyable or memorable? Is it the food, the atmosphere, the people you're with, or something else?
I think what makes a restaurant experience really memorable is a mix of things. Of course, the food has to be delicious, but I also care about the atmosphere. If the place is cozy, clean, and plays nice music, it creates a relaxing vibe. The people I'm with also make a big difference. Sharing a meal with good friends or family always makes it more special. Sometimes it's the small details, like friendly staff or pretty plating, that leave a strong impression. One time, a waiter gave us free dessert after hearing it was my friend's birthday. That little moment made us all smile.
Question 15. Please ask me what my favorite menu item is at your preferred type of restaurant.
What's your favorite dish to order at a casual cafe? I'm curious if you like savory foods like pasta or sandwiches, or if you prefer something sweet like pancakes or waffles. Maybe you have a personal favorite you always get when you visit your go-to cafe.